There are some places in this world that seem wrong, like they don't belong. Places where the air feels heavier, where the shadows stretch longer, and where sometimes people disappear. Scene 1. Setting the stage. It all started last summer. My best friend Jake and I had been inseparable for years. We were the kind of kids who spent every waking moment exploring, daring each other to do the stupidest things. But there was one place we always avoided: Black Hollow Forest. Everyone in our town knew the stories. Kids who went in and never came out. Strange lights flickering through the trees at night. And the whispers. People swore they heard whispers coming from deep within the woods. Scene 2. The Dare. But Jake, being Jake, was never one to back down from a challenge. It was late one night, and we were hanging out in his backyard when he turned to me and said, "Jake," grinningly, "let's do it. Let's go into Black Hollow, just for an hour, see if the stories are true." I laughed it off at first. I mean, sure, we'd done some dumb stuff before, but this felt wrong. But Jake wouldn't let it go. He said I was chicken, that we'd just go to the edge, look around and come back. Against my better judgment, I agreed. I wish I hadn't. Scene 3. Entering the forest. We headed out just before midnight. The forest was quiet, too quiet. No crickets, no rustling leaves. Just silence. And the deeper we went, the more it felt like the trees were closing in around us. At first it was kind of fun. We laughed about the stories and tried to scare each other. But then, we started hearing things. Jake whispers, "Did you hear that?" It was faint, like someone whispering our names. Jake, Ryan, ... I told Jake it was just the wind, but we both knew better. The whispers were coming from deeper in the woods. Scene 4. The Disappearance. Jake, of course, wanted to follow the sound. He said it was probably just some pranksters trying to scare us. I begged him to turn back, but he was already moving ahead. I tried to keep up, but the fog was getting thicker. I called out his name, but the only thing I heard was my own voice echoing back at me. "Jake? Jake, where are you?" And then, he was gone. Just like that. Scene 5. The Return. I don't know how long I searched. Minutes? Hours? It felt like an eternity. And then, just as I was about to give up, I heard footsteps behind me. Jake! But something was wrong. He wasn't looking at me. His eyes were glassy, almost empty. Ryan nervously, "Dude, are you okay?" He didn't answer. He just stared past me like he was listening to something I couldn't hear. Scene 6. The Aftermath. We made it out of the forest, but Jake was different. He barely spoke. He stopped coming to school. His parents said he wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep. He just sat in his room, staring at the walls. And then, one night, I got a call. It was Jake's mom. She was frantic. She said he'd vanished again. Scene 7. The Truth Revealed. I went back to Black Hollow. I don't know what I was hoping to find. Closure? Answers? All I found was more questions. And then I found it. Jake's flashlight, lying on the ground next to a tree with a strange marking. It looked like an eye, staring right at me. I don't know what happened to Jake that night, but I know one thing. Black Hollow Forest took him. And whatever came back wasn't Jake. Scene 8. Final warning. If you ever hear whispers coming from the woods, don't follow them. Some places are meant to be left alone. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? Share your story in the comments. And remember, stay curious, but stay safe.